Hello, fabulous Aries. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of March 2016. Love Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month, in the context of love, it really is all about the lunar eclipse that happens in the second part of the month. So we've got a lunar eclipse happening in your opposite sign. This is huge, okay? It doesn't happen that often, but when it happens, it represents a change in understanding, a change in that connection, that alliance that truly means that much to you, or a change in your understanding of what love is going to mean and where it is that maybe there have been some barriers there that you now are ready to let go of. A lot of this is going to be set off, if you will, precipitated by a conversation is really what it comes down to. So this conversation might be online, it might be in person, but it is a one-on-one interaction that starts to create or has the wheels of change rolling, if you will, and especially where it comes to love and your understanding of love. So this lunar eclipse is happening across the sky from Mercury, speaking very powerfully to that meeting of minds, to that connection, that conversation that you're likely to have with another person. And this is emotions rising. It's a lunar eclipse. So when lunar eclipses take place, it's like a full moon, but like 20 times more powerful. And what a full moon is a growing understanding of your emotional truth. Solar eclipses are a lot more rational, they're a lot more cerebral, and they're also a lot more heart-based at that, and they're future-based as well. If you think about the ancients, they talked about, for example, Apollo. Apollo ruled, in ancient Greece, Apollo ruled prophecy and rationality at the same time. So those are some strong ways to understand the sun. However, with a solar eclipse, with a lunar eclipse, it's all about the moon. And the moon finds its truth in the emotions. It finds its truth through the intuition and through a sense of, it's almost like you feel the truth coming. It's been there for a while now, in some cases for months now. And you feel it coming on, you feel it growing. And this is your chance to acknowledge it fully and feel a sense of realization, feel a sense of exhale, feel a sense of release and relief that you finally have the answers. You're finally ready to grow, to move forward. This can be in the bond that you're in with someone who's in your periphery or in your willingness to love. Because it is an eclipse in your opposite sign, when there's important lunar activity happening in your opposite sign, someone is there. There's going to be somebody there. Now, whether this person is someone that you are attracted to, that you are drawn to, or whether this is someone that is in your periphery, right? That is somebody that you're dating. Regardless, there's going to be another person there to help you understand these lessons about yourself. So it is about, it's almost as if there's the embodiment of this lesson that presents itself to you through another person. So if you're in an established bond, I think this eclipse is going to speak that much more strongly and that much more powerfully. With this, if you're in the right bond, right? If you feel like you are with the right person and this is the right connection for you, and you know that you're with the right person, then this can be a time when you are very much revealing that. And you are very much feeling like you just want to talk about everything. You want to be with this person. You're feeling a spiritual and intellectual connection to this other person, just wanting to spend as much time as possible, realizing how important they are to you, realizing that you have sort of like your responsibilities, but really your responsibility is that much more to this person that you love. If you are in a bond that is not right, or it's sort of, been in the air, what are we? How are we going to define ourselves? Are we even going to define ourselves? If it is that type of connection, that type of bond, this is going to be a time of emotional honesty, a time of accepting what you felt coming along for a while. because Mercury is involved, and Mercury rules, documents and paperwork. So it is very possible, I will put this out there, for example, if you're separated and you've just been sort of hanging out in that separated zone for a while now, this is going to be a time when that paperwork starts to move forward. When you start making progress on that and you start saying, okay, like let's move forward with what we know has already been moving forward for a long time now. And that can have a measure of feeling liberated in itself. But again, this is a long time coming. So if it's not going to be something, this is not energy that hits you out of nowhere that makes you go, whoa, I did not see that coming. This is energy that that has been growing for a while, that is going to bring to culmination, allowing closures to happen where they need to. So whether those closures are in any doubt that you have about being with this person so you can fully be with them, heart and soul, without a doubt, ever again in some cases, then that will be the case. But where it is that this person is not it, you've known for quite a while, this is going to be a time when you start to get honest with yourself about that and honest with this other person about that as well. And start to have documents and paperwork support that. Start to have conversations, connections with other people that support your desire now to bring things to a full close. Those of you who are just getting to know somebody, just dating somebody, this is going to work itself out in terms of this person or you saying a whole lot and you realizing, okay, this is what this person would be like in a relationship. This is what this person would be like in an established bond. And because of that clarity, you're able to move that much more forward with clarity. So the inner clarity lends itself to outer clarity, and it might not even be something they realize they've said, or it might be something that you say, and you didn't even realize that you'd said it until you reflect after the fact. And after the fact might even come a week later, 10 days later. But it's as if, you're with them and you're getting to know them and you end up saying something. And it isn't until, you're having a casual moment that all of a sudden it comes up to you and goes, oh, wow, I had said that. Why did I say that? What did that really mean? What was happening within me? What do I believe about this person and about our possible future together? What did I not say that says something about this person and our possible future together? So this is going to be that type of moment. Very likely you're the one saying it, but it could also be that they say something as well or don't say something that leads you to understand very differently what it is that's happening here. There's a truth that needs to be accepted, and this is going to be your chance to do just that. For others of you out there, if you're open to meeting someone new, like I said, someone will show up for you. You will be having those connections and those communications. Now, I would just advise you to be a little bit aware with this energy. And the reason is because this particular energy does say and does speak to you sort of having a certain expectation or having a certain idea of what this connection is supposed to be, of what love is supposed to be, and the reality not necessarily matching what has been on a mind level. So what I mean by that is this, speaks very strongly. If you've just met somebody online, if you've just communicated with them a little bit through online connections, this is a time when seeing them in person, it really can be a moment that goes, oh wow, okay, the reality, in all honesty, the reality might be very different from what you thought it would be. And that's also true for any other, if I may say, I'm thinking about the fact that Mars is going to be moving in and out of 2 different signs, important signs at that in your sky. And this does speak to me about, it's almost like you have a fantasy or you have a thought, you have an idea of what a certain type of experience is going to be, of what a certain person is going to be, and the reality isn't what you think it is. And so when I see something like this, it says if you connect with somebody, particularly around this eclipse, it's really, really important to put those parameters there so that you're only connecting with people who are close enough to you that you could meet them right away, and strive to meet them in person. Because ultimately it is about you realizing that the tactile, immediate experience is not always what your mind tells you it could be or might be. So just be mindful of that. Be especially mindful of written communication. Get on that webcam as soon as possible. Get in front of that person as soon as possible to ensure that you are listening to yourself and moving forward with that emotional clarity, but also on a mind level clarity. Because I have a feeling for a few of you out there, it's really going to be a big disconnect. And for others of you out there, you will be so glad to connect with the person early before you put any kind of emotional or time investment into the bond. But sometimes it might not even be that you have a bond with this person. It might just be that someone shows up. For example, a friend of a friend is visiting your city, and you've got to meet this person to have tea or coffee with this person, just to give them a little city hospitality, if you will. Now, what is that connection going to be like for you? What is going to come up for you? What emotions are going to come up for you? That's where your learning is. And there's a strong element here of projection. So ultimately, other people show us who we are. And it is your interpretation that is a huge part of seeing who you are as well. So keep that in mind as you are interacting with new people, and know that emotions are likely to be kicked up. And that is a good thing, because it's moving you towards understanding things on a mind level so that you can decide what kind of love you want and what kind of love you're really ready for. Regardless of your love situation, regardless of how it is that you're feeling as the month begins, love will accelerate in its learning and its lessons, and there'll be a real sense that you gain a whole lot, especially as we move towards the later part of the month. Remember, next month, there is a new moon in your sign. There's a whole lot happening in the sky, including Mars going retro next month. It's a really important time. And this does suggest that you are very likely going to be feeling, going to be experiencing things now, experiences now, connections now, that fuel your understanding of self and allow you to begin a fresh new chapter in your life, in your self-understanding, once we get you into next month. And that's really what love is all about, right? It's introducing you to yourself, getting you honest with yourself. And sometimes you'll find that that honesty makes you love that much more. And even if you find that isn't the case, even if you find that isn't apparent, in the fullness of time, you will find that love and any experiences you have this month in love are part of getting you to ready and getting you to move towards greater love than you've known before.